Hello everybody, how is it going? So what I am going to be doing today is I am going to be taking you through 5 lakes that every GeoGuessr player should know. So they're going to be quite famous ones. Um, one of them is a little bit rogue, but basically if you have sort of like landmarks like water or big mountains in sort of like hard to guess countries, it can really help you. So hopefully knowing these lakes and knowing how to recognize them should help you in region guessing difficult countries. So the first one, we're going to start off with a big one, and we're going to go for Lake Titicaca. So Lake Titicaca is the highest lake in the world, situated across Peru and Bolivia. Um, and look, Peru, absolutely massive country, horrible to region guess. Massive points on offer here. So being able to know that you're close to the lake can be an absolute game changer. I mean, certainly speaking just from a literal point of view here, and this goes for all of the lakes. It might sound dumb, but if you can see a massive body of water to the east of you and you're in Peru, you're gonna probably be on this lake. Just sort of use your common sense. Don't sort of guess over here. Just sort of knowing where the big lake is, can certainly set you apart from opponents who don't. Um, and yeah, general background for all of the lakes in this video as well is when you close the bodies of water, you're going to get more vegetation. It's going to be more green. So that sort of helps as well. So certainly on rounds like this, this does not look like, well, you're sort of more in the Atacama here. So nowhere else down here does it look like this. And obviously you've got the big body of water. But what I was wanting to talk about was this. So close to the lake, it's quite flat. So it's probably the flattest bit around Peru for a long way. And obviously you get these sort of yellowy, dry grasslands. So this is a major tell for how to get near here. Nowhere else in Peru really looks like this. Um, Certainly, yeah, that grass. If you look over here, got a bit more up here, but yeah, this sort of wide open expanse with this grass, very close to the lake. Yeah, stuff like this. Up here as well, yeah, as you can see, flat, dry, sort of not in the steep valleys, which are very common elsewhere in Peru. Just going to move a bit further up here, just give you a bit more of a sense of it. And then we're moving a bit closer to like Cusco here, so it still does exist, but you see the mountains get a bit sharper. Don't get me wrong, there still are sharp mountains in and around here, but yeah, certainly a bit hillier over here, definitely. So yeah, certainly the closer you move to Cusco, you will still get that sort of kind of grass, but it won't be as evident as here. Keeping these things brief because this is my big stretch of recording all my videos in one go before I go away. And then I'm just going to briefly speak about the Bolivian side of it. And obviously, so Peru is, a lot of it is Gen 4, good quality, as you can see here, pretty crisp image. Go over the border, Peru does not have that. So you can obviously see that the quality differs, and two, this will have been taken in a different season, so it's a bit greener. Still, obviously, you can see the lake there. There are more, well, there are a few lakes in Peru, but as you can see, no coverage really on them, especially this big one here. So yeah, you still got the sort of dry, flat grassland, but the color's a bit different. But yeah, certainly if you get sort of like uber flat areas in Peru and Bolivia, you're going to be on these high plains in and around one, the big city of La Paz, and two, Lake Titicaca. So yeah, that's how you get Lake Titicaca there. Next up, we'll see you with, haven't decided which one, but it will be a doozy, Lake Baikal. So this is the deepest lake in the UK. So you're getting 2 for 1 on the facts there. So not only can you wax lyric about your GeoGuessr skills, but you also get in a bit of general knowledge there in case you're ever at a pub quiz. And in case anybody doesn't know, Russia, big, hard to guess. Absolute nightmare of a country to region guess and tell where you are. But having this big, massive lake in the middle of it, um, if you're there and you can, well, you can't really see on that one. Where's one that you can see here? If you're there and you can tell which, let me find one which I actually put it on. Here. Got a big, massive body of water that you can tell there's a lake across, so you can see that there's land the other side of it. Just realized, am I hell re-recording this after those two? I don't care. Big, massive body of water here. It's got land over to the other side. You know you're not on the coast because land over to the other side, but also using your compass. So use your compass to line up where you are and figure it out. And hopefully, you should assume that you're on Lake Baikal. Um, and as you can see, sort of more green, more lush stuff growing there. There's water, you know, abundance of water near the lake. Um, so yeah, just the general sort of like landscape is way more sort of yeah, lush and sort of green and abundant. Um, close to the lake. So next up is talking about the cars. So black car, white antenna. Um, is this side? Oh, this is the one on the actual. There's an island. There's an island in the middle of the lake. I've never ever gotten this in the game. I'm just showing it off because it is so unbelievably cool. The coverage. Um, yeah. So that island's a bit more sparse with its trees and stuff. But yeah, an abundance of trees, growing, lusher, greener. I'm repeating myself, but yeah, the black car, long antenna, leads up to here. Is it? Because then it goes to no car. Yeah. So this side of the lake is black car, long antenna, as you can see here. Um, this is a bit further from the lake, but you've still got the sort of typical like far eastern topography. But yeah, certainly hillier as well as this area. These on the side of the road are very, very common around about there. But yeah, as you can see over here, it's better quality. You do have the lake visible there, and then yeah, no antenna. So certainly leading up to Ulan Uda, which is even down here along this road, and then it changes to here, where we go back again. We've got the same sort of kind of scenery, but black car, long antenna, and yeah, sort of the further you get from the lake, bit sort of drier, as you can see here. There's not much water present. The trees are a bit thinner, not as big, not as lush. But still, you got sort of that like almost Mongolian landscape. But yeah, that's pretty much Lake Baikal. Use your noggin. See a big lake in Russia. Guess Lake Baikal. Next up is Lake Van or Van Golu. Turkish is primitive at best, but I assume Golo means lake. And this is the biggest lake in Turkey. Again, quite recognizable. Lots of built up areas on it. Looks quite different to the sort of usual bits surrounding it because again, you do have a bit more sort of well, greenness. This is it desert? It's certainly very dry, but absolute nightmare of a country sort of getting anywhere in this middle bit. So having the big lake there, big certifier to tell you whereabouts you are. So again, as you can see, you've sort of got the bit more of the this northeast sort of Caucasan architecture and scenery with the greenness. These sort of red roofs here are I'm getting a bit bogged down into more the eastern part of Turkey here rather than just the lake, but it's still a good tip. And these sort of red roofs here, very sort of eastern. I sort of think, well, certainly certainly east of Kayseri, but more of Erzincan up here. It's gone, but yeah, we still have that there. Yeah, lush and green on the coastline, and as again you can see, just be double sure. Don't just have a quick glance and be like, right, that's coast there. One, the coast doesn't really look like this, and two, you can see an outline. Hopefully, it's not a cloud. I think that is actually a cloud, but you get what I'm talking about. No way am recording this, even though it is a shambles. But yeah, sort of more built up as well areas, because again, you've got that big water source there. That definitely is coast. Um, so yeah, I mean, if you know you're in Turkey and you know you've got a body of water next to you, have a hunch and say it's Lake Van. There are more lakes in and around here as well, but if you see it's a massive one and it feels eastern, then go for Lake Van. I'm just gonna show you the difference between here. You see this looks a lot different, a lot more green, less deserty. You do have the coast there, but there can be bits here where you do have it sort of, you can see the coast on the other side. Um, so yeah, just sort of in terms of maybe you could get it confused with these areas, but this is sort of a way more built up, way more touristy. So you shouldn't really be going there if you do see big bodies of water in Turkey. And yeah, I don't know how many times I can repeat myself, but don't just jump to conclusions. You just say it's the coast. Like, have a look around and try and figure out, are you on a lake? Because big country, if you can get that when you get it, yeah, a lot of points on offer. Number four, we're nearly there. Nearly there, and that's Lake Victoria, which is the biggest lake in Africa. It is the fourth biggest lake in the world. I did have to Google this because I did think it was the biggest, but it's not. um, so Lake Victoria it spans Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya, but obviously, well, Uganda is very recognizable with the car, so you shouldn't be going Kenya on Uganda on this. But so I'm just going to tell you about how to guess where you are in Kenya. So again, another big country, another with a lot of points on offer between certainly on high multis between picking between Nairobi and Kenya, especially now that there's sort of new coverage where you don't have the sort of snorkel meta, which did tell you. I just hated the hand signals I did there. The snorkel used to tell you if you didn't have a snorkel, you're over here. If you did, you're over here. But yeah, you've got to sort of vibe it more now. And again, I am repeating myself, but more lush and green. Over here, not as much water, so it's a bit drier. The trees are a bit more spindly, bit thinner. So certainly, if we look here, that sort of feels a bit more, yeah, a bit more vegetative, a bit more wetter. Which I hate that I said that word as well. But yeah, the landscape is kind of similar. It's a bit hillier over here as well, though, actually, compared to here. Certainly, you should get up or towards Eldoret, but I'm going off on a tangent there. But round about the lake actually is quite flat, so certainly, obviously, you've got to go down to get to it. But yeah, sort of these areas, sort of hilly and lush. And then right by the lake is. Did I have one right by the lake? Yeah, sort of flat, wet grassland. So there's not really much more I can say about that, but that's just you should just sort of get the gist of the two sort of climates next to it, if you get what I mean. Like, look how sort of dry that looks. Um, don't really know much more to say. It's pretty simple. But yeah, have a play around on Kenya, have a play around looking around both areas, and you should be able to build up that muscle memory of what looks like what. And finally, is Lake Taal in Philippines. And I originally just put this in because I thought it was cool, and I saw it in I think I saw it in a video that was like the coolest lakes in the world, and it was actually about the lake on top of the volcano, which is in the middle of a lake in the middle of Philippines, which I thought was like really cool. Um, so it's basically an island within an island with a lake within a lake. And I basically put it in just because I didn't know any more lakes to do. But I actually was playing Geoguessr before, and I didn't get this lake, but I got this lake, and it did help me because I'm just going to talk about why, and that's because Philippines is a really horrible country to region guess. And you can have sort of areas like here where you see sort of like land over the road, and it's hard discerning where you are um, like in terms of the coast, because it's sort of just a load of different islands dotted about everywhere. But I realized there's not actually that many lakes in Philippines. You got one there, as I can see, but these two here, and I had a round, and I could see that there was just plain like land on either side to me. And I was like, dude, it's going to be on one of these lakes, and it was. But yeah, that's basically this. So the volcano lake is actually it's quite flat, so it's not one of the big ones. But I'll just get it up on Google for you. Taal volcano, and yeah, so cool. You can see the. Oh, how do I go back? Take me back. Oh, are we gonna have to wait around for it? There. Um, so you can see there's a little island in the middle of the lake on the volcano in the middle of the lake, and it really is so cool. But actually on it, it's quite a flat one. So it's that there, I'd assume. Um, but yeah, basically just talking about how you've got coast on either sides of you. So it's kind of rare that you'd get it, but if you do get one of those ones, I mean, one, you're in Luzon, so it's a bit sort of drier. It's not as I don't want to say the word lush again, but you can see it's drier over here. It's not as that word, which is more in the south of Philippines. It still is, but yeah, sort of a bit more sort of exposed rocky. That's how you sort of get Luzon. But yeah, sort of coast. You can see coastline on either sides of you. Go on one of these two lakes. It might come up in a game. It actually generally did for me. So if it does, you should guess one of those two lakes in northern Philippines. And that concludes that super polished, well planned out video that was totally not just off the top of my head. Um, Next time I might write a script, but I'm just bashing these videos out. If you enjoyed, let me know. If it helps you, let me know. Let you know as well. And I will see you soon.